Hi everyone, I hope my sound is better on this recording. I'm going to do a reading for everyone, and this is going to be what's coming up for everyone as far as manifesting either the love of your life, manifesting someone back into your life, manifesting any kind of love into your life, but specifically I'm going to be talking about romance. And in order to have romance, you have to have some sort of love within yourself. And so we're going to take a look at the energies, which are very powerful right now coming up as we are headed into Capricorn, going into Venus, or Venus in Capricorn. We also have Mars in Scorpio. And boy, I'll tell you, if you're going to define anything, you need to define how you're going to make this work. And you need to be very, very absolutely sure about what you want during these next months, all the way into March. Be very definitive, because with the Scorpio energy happening, that is deliberate action. That is, you know what? You need to cut all of the things that aren't working for you in your relationships out. And you know what? Let me shuffle the cards and get into this a little bit and tell you what's coming up for you, because that energy is going to come up for everybody. So this is about, what do we need to know for manifesting love? And the first two cards that fell out are the Hermit and the Queen of Wands. So we will take a look. These are the coolest cards, by the way. They're called Mystical Moments. And I fell in love with this deck, and I love it because the symbology of the tarot switches it up for me from my typical Rider-Waite deck that I read with professionally. Okay. The very first card that we have for manifesting love, the very first two, King of Pentacles and the Devil card. And so what this is talking about specifically with the King of Pentacles, and when I first read about and heard about this, if you look, the King of Pentacles is actually a queen in this deck, and that's one of the reasons I chose this deck. And it is of the earth, but it is a person who is nurturing, a person who is a provider, a person who is fertile. So what does all of this mean? Okay. It's talking about, hey, if you are being pretentious in your relationship, if you're pretending to be somebody that you're not, that's going to create problems, that is going to get you stuck in the same stuff that you've been going through. Okay, so for those of you who are in a relationship with a person that's an earth sign, or has a lot of earth in their chart, or just appears to be really earthy, okay, so it would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? But that's not specific to the sun sign. It could have many other meanings. But this is a person who knows how to build their own castles because they know how to dream. You know, she's done very, very beautiful cards. So the King of Pentacles in this deck is telling me that you are in the midst of this beautiful, lush garden. You have everything available to you for you to manifest. But what do you keep doing? You keep getting yourself stuck in this old cobwebby, mind looping behavior, thoughts, habits, and patterns. If you're trying to get your love back, you have to look at your own habits and patterns. If you are trying to pull love into your life, what are you thinking about? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself the same things that you've always told yourself? You think, I'm going to go get a relationship. I'm going to attract. I am working on the manifestation of this. And you know what we find? You are going to have reflected back to you exactly who you are. So it says, dig deeply if you are trying to pull love into your life, if you're trying to attract, if you're trying to pull somebody back into your life. You don't have to pull. You have to be it. How do we be it? Look what this this, it's actually a queen, even though it's the King of Pentacles. But check out what she's doing. She is building the castles in the sky, okay? And notice that she is pulling out a golden disc, okay? And in the middle of all of these flowers are these discs. She is the ultimate creator, creatrix, right? Either one, because the way that this person that designed Mystical Moments did it is she basically overlaps so that we aren't looking at just female energy or male energy. We're looking at energy. And the Devil card is saying we get stuck in the wrong habits and patterns. If you're too driven, if you're not making yourself welcoming, but you're unwelcoming, and if you are in any way pretending to be something that you're really not, you're actually trying to become something that someone else wants you to be, you're going to be struggling. Okay. So this woman, okay, lures you into her web, right? And this mushroom that she is growing out of is very dangerous and it's poisonous, but it tempts you. And she has these beautiful, sweet cherries. And trust me, I won't even go with the double entendre there, but she has this sweetness. And so what does she do? She preys on your weaknesses. So the cards are saying in order to manifest, check out where you're actually weak and make those your strengths. You want to do the opposite. You want to take your strength and you want to build those so it actually pulls out your weakness. Or you take your weakness and you make it your strength. How? What is the opposite of your weakness? Do you become angry? Do you become jealous? Or are you tempted to fall back into the old habits and patterns and say, I don't deserve? Because actually, this is talking about a time when it is full-blown deserving. And Scorpio is pushing you. And it's all the stuff that keeps you from having what you want that you need to let bubble up to the surface. And this is talking about balance, integration, harmony, blending the elements, right? So what you do is you show up at a date and you show your best self and you put it on and you say, this person wants to see me, like this. And that's not really who you are. Or I'm going to act like this because I know that this is going to get me what I want. And the person, it's got to be real. It's got to be integrated. It's got to be deep. And we have the Nine of Wands, which also, typically I would put this as a crossing position. And so we would call it, for example, a conflict. And what I'm seeing is this is somebody that's struggling really hard to find their way. And they're stuck in the thickets and the thorns. And she's wounded. This is talking about breaking free of the wounds that you have mentally and spiritually and emotionally that you caught up in, that you go back to. Okay. So in order to bring someone back, you have to look at self. In order to pull this person into your life and live the dream that you want to live, your dreams are being drowned by the negative thoughts that you hold. Look at them. How do you speak negatively about yourself? Do you speak negatively about your relationships? How do you feel about love? How do you feel about the person that you want to bring back into your life? Are you constantly looking at their social media? Are you caught up in the old things that keep cutting you over and over again? And so this is saying you're overthinking things, okay? And instead of coming from a loving place and then letting things be and taking action, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm sure we've all been there. It's like, why do I keep attracting the same kind of a person? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of a relationship? And when you begin to look at yourself, you go, oh, because I have been raised to believe, or I have had experiences that have led me to believe, because this is what happened to me in the past. Okay, that is exactly what has to be cleaned out. That is not part of the art of manifesting, okay? So at the root of the whole reading that I'm going to give is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is success. So at the root of the endeavor is you will be successful, but you have to clear these things up. You can't look at the reading and say, well, you know, you said it was going to be successful. And it's like, yeah, but did you clear your shit up? Did you ask for forgiveness? Have you forgiven yourself? Have you forgiven your parents for the ideas that they planted in you? Have you forgiven yourself for not taking responsibility or not being aware? Have you forgiven yourself for all of the things that you have been embarrassed and humiliated about? Because this is saying, do it. Scorpio right now, right, in this Martian Scorpio is saying, come on, let's uproot and dig out all of the old things within us, right? And that's this devil energy. You know, what happens when you turn a light on in a dark room? Bam! It dispels the darkness. That's what you're being called upon to do here. Are you really wounded and bruised, or do you think you are? Or do you just keep repeating the same patterns over and over again to hurt yourself? Is that what you're doing? Okay, so you think, well, if I don't hurt myself, this is what I'm comfortable in. I'm afraid that I won't find something better. But when you change, everything changes. And now that's what the readings are about that I'm going to be doing on manifesting. And this is specific to everyone, unless you're in a fabulous relationship and this doesn't apply. And that's great. But here's what it says, is that you will acknowledge and you will ride in on, well, it's a horse, but this happens to be a bird. Okay, that's what's so cool about this reading. So what does this represent? Your mind. And it's like what your mind feeds off of and what your mind pollinates is going to be what you create. And so behind you is the Eight of Wands, above you. And yes, we're going to look at those cards. Look at this Seven of Wands. Isn't this fascinating? This man, I don't know if he's in a bird cage or where he is, but you have a lot of wands happening, and wands are fire, the spark of divine life. Okay, Six of Wands, success. Eight of Wands behind you, but notice that the card is coming into the reading. And so it's saying the way is going to be made clear for you, but what do? You have to do the work. You can even sit down and you can pray. You can talk to the universe. You can meditate. You can make a statement. I now release. Think about what you're thinking. Become aware of the things that you say to yourself. And you can write them all down, all the things that you are letting go and releasing, and burn it. And then you need to set your intention. And that's what this is talking about. This person is already dreaming about the things that they want. And they have already created, look at these beautiful yellow flowered golden discs, okay? This is also a very rich relationship, something that goes very deeply. And so some people could say, well, the devil could indicate sexuality, except I'm not reading in that way. I'm not going to read it that way. I'm actually talking about the manifestation of love. And sex is sure a great way to trap people, but look what happens when it's all sexual. A lot of times you eat shit. Come on, we all know that, right? And so it's saying here, you got to rise up. You've got to meet the universe and yourself and the energy where you want to be. And then you become it. And it's where you're at. And that's how you're going to begin to move along. So change is in the air. And the moment is coming as soon as you acknowledge this. I'm not doing this anymore. Oh, but what if I have to let go of my relationship? You might not. Because when you change, everything changes. What happens if you just stop accepting that? And I've seen this happen when we're in relationships, you know, with people who can be addicted or with other people or cheating on us. We allow those things. We need those things in our lives to teach us something, right? And it's typically what we think we deserve. And so you are now saying, no, I don't accept this anymore. This is not what I deserve. I want success. I want movement. Okay. Then we have the Seven of Wands. Okay. This is such a cool card to me. And the Seven of Wands is talking about, this is a strong man. Okay. And the way she has created him just reminds me of something from the 20s. But if you look, this is David and Goliath here. It also looks like we have, it's some sort of I don't know, could be a cheetah, it could be an ape. I don't know, maybe King Kong. But love conquers all. So if we are not coming from a place of love, if we're coming from old addictive habits and patterns, game playing, manipulation, trying to make people jealous, cheating on someone, you know, it's talking about a man who has curtains behind him, red curtains, the first and second chakra, passion. He's very strong. He's bending these bars because strong emotions and conviction that love rules instead of manipulation, getting out of the trap. So it's set your intention, set your mind. What is it that you truly want in a relationship? And be absolutely resolute. You must absolutely be resolute when you are manifesting anything, because here's this guy bending with his bare hands. Okay. So you face your challenges, and this is going to be a very interesting card because he is defiantly going to get what he wants. He is going to protect, and he is going to stand up for his beliefs. And very often we're in relationships, and our friends and our family members and society saying that's an unacceptable relationship. But let me ask you a question. Where are the perfect relationships? Because I would say you're dealing with people, so you're never going to get perfection. And you love who you love. And it doesn't mean that you have to put up with abuse, because I absolutely do not believe that we should ever put up with abuse, but we have to understand why we do. And that's how we break free to really, truly love. So we break out of this. And then we have the Nine of Swords. And I will tell you, you can already see in this card, this is, oh my God, what is everybody thinking about me? All the eyes are on me. And oh my God, it's keeping me up at night and I can't sleep. And, you know, it's all of the ideas that, you know, the people are thinking this. And what if I look at it like this? And what if this happens? Or what if this happens? And there's so much stress and anxiety in the reading, right, in front of you, because it's like, stop asking what other people are thinking and think about what you want. Now, the Two of Pentacles, look what she reaches, a pinnacle of success here. She is able to balance on one foot, two discs, okay? And she's balancing an upside down infinity, and the strings are going the opposite way. So you're balancing heaven and earth, because as above, so below. And so you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. Are you going to choose the same old, or are you going to choose success? Because here she's saying, let me tell you something. This is a fabulous card. That is the Ace of Pentacles. And the woman is sitting on the pentacle. And she's manifesting the opportunity that she wants. Not by looking here because, God, this is God awful. You're thinking this is nightmarish. But she is saying, I can do whatever. Look how calm and serene this woman is. And she knows that she will be rewarded if she nurtures her love, the inner fire, the inner thoughts, the inner feelings in a positive way, not in a tormented way. But yes, I can. Yes, I will. And so I'm going to pull these two guys out. So I'm going to use the Hermit card in this position. And the Hermit card, if you see, sits all by itself. And then we're going to use the Queen of Wands as the outcome. So the Hermit is the mermaid. And look where she's sitting, on top of the lighthouse. And it's also at the top of the world, if you look at the way it's shaped. It's dome shaped. And she can see over everything because she's alone, because she knows, you notice she has a fishing rod, And even though the sky is dark, it represents knowledge. It represents spirituality. It represents wisdom and going within. And she can share her knowledge, but only if she trusts herself. If she is willing to go within and say, this is who I am. These are the things that I want. This is not who I am. This is no longer who I am. I'm transcending these things so that I can manifest this. So in our love, what is it that we are thinking about? What do we know about love? What is love to you? You can say, well, my love, I was raised to know love like this. But if you know this, then you can know love like this, can't you? And that's the part of manifesting. It's changing your mind to get what you want. Remember, in manifestation, the only thing you're going to manifest is what you are. It is a reflection of your mind, of who you are, yourself. So you change self, and I promise you, look how powerful you are. You can have anything that you want. If you get rid of just these, well, we should also get rid of this one. That's not a very pretty card either, because she keeps cutting herself. And you know what? We're going to cut ourselves. It happens. And I'm not talking about, purposely. I mean, it happens, right? Because even though with love, there is beauty, the rose has thorns, does it not? And so then we come to the last card, the final card, which is the Queen of Wands. I know I messed up my reading. It looks a little messy, but oh well. And what do we know with the Queen of Wands? Again, the Queen of Wands is fire. So now we're talking about the energy of life, and look at what she has around her. She has these beautiful beings, and the light is shining through the creation of, I would say, her sunflower. And it illuminates everything around her to the point where it even shows she's warm, she's beautiful, and these beautiful beings are attracted to her light. And look, they're white-winged, beautiful beings. And she has, look at the peacock skirt that she has. It's beautiful. So her enthusiasm, her love ignites the spark of love and light and energy and positivity to everyone and everything. So when we go within and when we create you have to create this positive energy in order to manifest love. You have to know that you're lovable. You have to feel the energy of your charm, of your charisma, of being enthusiastic about being loved, of knowing that you can love. Love is a give and take. It's very beautiful. It isn't negative. It isn't self-centered, and it isn't withdrawn. This is dynamic. And she is dynamic, and she vibrates to this so that she does nothing but attract it to herself. It pulls to you. When your energy changes, everyone is so connected energetically. Your past lovers will feel you forgive them. They'll reach out to you. Your new love that you're trying to attract will come in like that, but it's up to you to create the energy. You have the power to generate all of these things by changing your mindset about love, by knowing you can heal the relationship that you're in right now, changing your mindset. So it's really, really important that we all take a look at this. Even in our lives, how do we love people? Are we radiating these things, or are we letting these other things bring us down and cut us up? When we have the power to just very gently sit down and say to ourselves, I know that I am resolute, and it is love that I'm bringing in, and I am going to absolutely change my perceptions about what is going on. I can create this by looking and focusing on not just the positive, and not just, oh, I'm going to be positive, because that isn't true either. I mean, that would be denying some of the things that you see. But what is the good that you can find in your own life? How can you focus on those types of things instead of focusing here and creating the same old, and winding up having miserable relationships, right? And if you have great relationships and you happen to be listening to this, then you already know this and you're generating this. And when you give this to other people, you feel them, you fill them, and they feel you. And that's how we make the world a better place. That's how we lighten. We lighten by being enlightened, which means having the light within us and then shining it. You can do this. I'm telling you, this card is the most powerful card because this guy is resolute. He knows that he has the strength of a lion and that his love can overcome anything. And that's the David and Goliath. He's already fought the war. And he knows that love is one of the most, and is probably the most powerful. They say God is love. It is the most powerful energy in the universe. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for listening. And check the link below if you want to get a personal reading from me. And please like this video too. If you liked it, that is. Thanks.